Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again. Here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing another viewer requested topic, and it's going to be on The Walking Dead Season 4, whether or not I think we will see the Hunters. Alright, so I think this is an interesting topic, definitely interesting characters. Now, for those of you guys who are like, what the hell are you talking about, Trev? Who are the Hunters? What's going on? Because I know a lot of people don't read the Walking Dead comic book series. This one's going to contain spoilers for the Walking Dead comic book series, especially this trade, which is trade paperback number 11, which is called, of course, Fear the Hunters. As you can see on the cover here, we have Andrea, and someone in the background there is hiding behind a tree while she's freaking out. Kind of sad to see this cover now, I gotta be honest with you. That she survived on the comic book series way later on, didn't get that far in the TV series. And the funny thing about this storyline from the comic book series too is, the two main characters of this one, I would say, well, kind of, would have to be Andrea and Dale, both of which died already in the Walking Dead TV series. So this is definitely going to have to be interpreted a lot differently in the Walking Dead television series. Obviously, Dale's not there. Hershel is already, well, Hershel could fit his role, I would say. I think that would make sense, fit into Dale's role, sort of fill his shoes, so to speak, if he survives on that long. I could see them keeping him around for that, maybe. And, you know, it's going to happen with somebody, I think. It doesn't have to be exactly the same way it was in the comic book. But definitely you're going to want to have probably at least one character death in the mix there. Somebody getting captured. And, yeah, again, spoilers for anyone who hasn't read up to this part at least. But what do we mean by the Hunters? Well, essentially, the Hunters are a group of survivors in the Walking Dead comic book series in which what happens is when we get further into the zombie apocalypse, food becomes more and more scarce, harder and harder to find. We're talking like over a year, being close to 2 years after. Well, I guess after this point, it'd be about maybe a year and a half, a year, something like that in the comic book series to this point. In the Walking Dead TV series, it'll be probably at least 2 years coming up pretty soon because we've had one winter, and then we're going to have another winter time skip by the time Season 4 starts. So at least 2 years since the outbreak has kind of, you know, come full circle or completed, and everybody was basically infected and spread everywhere. So that being said, food's going to be getting really scarce, and this group of survivors is absolutely terrifying. And why are they terrifying? Well, they're cannibals, basically. Yeah. But it makes sense, too. Like, you know, some people might say, well, that's not realistic. No, it is. Believe me. If people get hungry enough, they can turn to things like this, depending. I mean, they just lose their humanity. And essentially, the leader of the group, his name is Chris, and he's really twisted. He's really twisted bastard. And what he explains it as basically, or says, is that they were hunting animals, you know, over time and everything like that, but they just suck at it. They're just not very good hunters to be hunting animals. They're not Daryl. They can't walk around with a crossbow and kill 20 squirrels in a day and have food for everybody, or fish, or do these things. They're just not very adept at it. Which I guess makes sense. You might not be, you know, because a lot of us these days, we don't practice those skills in our society. You know, no one is going to teach us if we're on our own in a zombie apocalypse. We have to figure it out on our own. And it's not necessarily that easy to do a lot of these things. So that being said, that's what they do. They turn to cannibalism, and they hunt other survivors as they see them coming through their area, or they go around and try to find them. It's a good number group. I think there's about 10 or so, somewhere between 6 to 10 maybe. And they've got heavy arms, heavy artillery. Here's a picture on the back of them. A lot of rifles, stuff like that, and terrifying storyline. This is a great trade, by the way, number 11. It's one of the most interesting, exciting trades in all the Walking Dead series. And these characters right here, these survivors, are I'd say probably the scariest and darkest characters in all the Walking Dead storyline. I would think so. Even though in the comic book series, I think they could have been handled a lot better. They could have been turned into like central villains for a lot of trades. For some reason, Robert Kirkman decided to blow right through them and have them only last one trade. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because what they do is so dark, he didn't want to keep them around for too long. But it's definitely very exciting, the events that happen in this with Dale and Andrea. And I really hope that they make the decision to put this, at least inspired by this storyline, into The Walking Dead season 4, because that would be really exciting, man. And the governor can't do it all by himself. We've seen an entire season of the governor with Woodbury. He's lost Woodbury. He's on his own now. He's only got him, Shumpert, and Martinez. That's not much of a threat. He's obviously going to have to rebuild his group, be a central villain in The Walking Dead season 4. But I hope also that we get at least one more group of survivors out there in The Walking Dead season 4 for Rick's group to fight against. Because I think the governor, he's had really a lot of time in season 3 centralized on him and what's happening with him. They're going to keep him around, which is good. I like that. That's all good. But I hope they add in another group of survivors to go to war with. So you have 3, going on all at once. Like Rick maybe and his group are fighting against both the governor and maybe a group like this, the Hunters. If we don't see them in season 4, I think it's a guarantee we're going to see them in season 5. I'd say probably not season 6. That's probably too late. I would think season 5 we'd have to see them by. But these characters right here, I think, are the type of characters that we could get they could get almost an entire season out of these characters, this group, for Rick to battle. Because they're just, terrifying. Being stalked. And the crazy thing about it, too, is like the way that these characters do it. They would capture a member of Rick's group. They would knock them out or whatever, capture them. They would eat them or eat parts of them and then drop them back off with the group to scare the shit out of them, hoping they will run or do something or act stupid, and then take more of them, So that is a terrifying storyline. And definitely probably would be the scariest thing we could see in the Walking Dead TV series. So I really hope we see them in season 4. I hope they throw them in there with the governor, even if they're only around for 5, 6, 7 episodes, something like that. And then they decide to kill them off or have Rick's group defeat them or whatever. But definitely throw in something new, because the governor by himself, it's getting a little stale, to be honest with you. If they don't do something rash with him, he'll start feeling a little stale. Having another group like this to add in there could really benefit that season. Or if we have to wait till season 5, all right. I just hope they really handle the group well. But I think there's a good chance we will see them in season 4, because I think they got to fill out those 16 episodes. I don't think the governor by himself really is going to be able to do that. I think it would make perfect sense to throw them in there. So that's something to look for. Hopefully we'll hear something about that in the, maybe the trailer or something like that. Maybe they'll throw in Abraham's group instead. Have him be a bad guy maybe in the TV series, or do some of that, or a totally new group. So we'll see what happens. But definitely, I can't wait to see the Hunters in the TV series, and I don't think they're going to skip them. I think they're going to show up. Either season 4, season 5, latest season 6. But definitely we're going to see them eventually. So anyway, that's all I really got to say about those characters. Can't wait to see them in the series. I think we will eventually. Hopefully season 4. I'll call the video here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.